like me, you always had troubles in understanding Spinoza, this is a book for you. The trouble with understanding Spinoza is where to begin. He did not publish much during his lifetime. In fact, the only thing he published under his name was a commentary on Descartes. All the rest was posthumous. Moreover, first thing after his death, his friends burned all his private correspondence. So all we are left from Spinoza are a couple of treatises, more or less finished. So where to begin? Stephen Nadler's book is offering us a door into Spinoza's philosophy. It is an interesting entry, having as a central concept a model of human being, what Spinoza calls the free man.
The model of myself that I'm striving for is a free individual, and the paradigm of that freedom, I'm not striving to be God because that's impossible, but the superbly impossible but paradigmatic instance of freedom is the freedom of God or nature.
But Spinoza knows perfectly well that very few people can even approach that.
Right. Yep.
And I think that there's plenty of room in his thought for those of us who are mere mortals.
Unlike for Seneca or the Stoics, where the model is outside me, I emulate Socrates in order to become a wise. I want to become more like Socrates. Your book is arguing for a different kind of emulation, where the model is an inner model, it's not an outer model.
It's a model within me, but it's not subjective. I think it's objectively based in the metaphysics of what it is to be a human being.
To the extent to which Stoics are talking about Socrates as the model of the wise, that's not the historical Socrates. That's the universal model. And I would say that that goes in the same direction with Jesus and the imitatio Christi. I'm not imitating the historical Jesus.
Absolutely.
So what is the difference then between Spinoza's inner model and this universal model of the wise?
I'm not sure that there is. I mean, even with the Stoics, I do think that it's not unreasonable to see this model of human nature as, or the ultimate goal, which Spinoza talks about at the very end.
In the case of Jesus, though, we do have we have this portrait in the Gospels, the Christian Gospels. But, even there too, everybody has their own Jesus. And Spinoza's Jesus is just a prophet who also happens to be a philosopher.
I mean, Socrates is in the same situation. We have Plato's Socrates. Everyone knew that, Socrates was more than Plato's Socrates. And in a way, everyone had his own Socrates.
This is exactly the reason why I think it's interesting to bring in Pascal's God, because Pascal's God is definitely the God of the Bible, but it's also a personal God with whom one has a personal relation. Leibniz's God is a version of God of the philosophers. Descartes' God is God of the philosophers. St. Thomas's God is God of the philosophers. But Pascal's God is this very personal God who you meet who you first meet in the Bible, but with whom you have an extremely personal relation. And that's completely different from what Spinoza is doing.
Yeah, in Pascal's God, you would both seek comfort, but also you are greatly fearful.
If you want to find out more, join us on Friday for another edition of the Philosophical Cafe.